Hello, in this video what I would like to do is show you some basic ways to stretch your chest muscles so that if you've got tight chest muscles or postural issues, then these exercises will help you to stretch out the muscles and allow some relief from chest tension. This is particularly useful if you are used to binding or if you have any kind of restriction around the chest muscles at this point. So the first thing to do is start off by taking the binder off if that's what you're doing, and allow yourself a few hours a day to just allow the muscles to breathe. Obviously I appreciate the reasons for binding, but if we can have a few hours a day or definitely through the night, then it will allow your muscles and your rib cage just to have some rest. So the first thing to do that I suggest for people is just generally shaking your hands out and just rolling the shoulders round forwards and backwards. You can do this as often as you want, so you can do it 3 or 4 times each time. That's entirely up to you. Just continue to work the shoulders round as if you're using your shoulder blades and your deltoid muscles here and here to draw a big circle forwards and backwards. You can do the same with your arms, so just swing them backwards and forwards just to get some momentum, just to warm the muscles up before we do any deep stretching, because otherwise we can cause injury, and we don't want to cause injury because that's not the purpose of doing this video. Sorry. Shake your shoulders round. You can bring your arms round and backwards, sort of step in a bit. You can just have to step to the side slightly. Bring your arms round and backwards. And that'll help do the very top part, just around here. And I appreciate you're not binding around this area, but it's just helping to loosen everything up. So you might also want to do some gentle twists just to get the abdomen and just to loosen that area and your lower back. Nice. Just gently tilt to each side. Sorry, nobody needs to see my tummy. I'll just go over to the sides gently. And then you might want to just gently move over and hold. And to the other side, hold there. Then start stretching the chest muscles out. Put your hands behind your back and lift and put your chin to your chest as you lift your arms up, and you should feel that across here, down here and there. If not, just change the angle very slightly. It might be at this point you just need to do a little bit more loosening of the shoulders and around the top of the chest. Then from there, what we can do is bring your arm across, and although this will stretch the back at this point, it's very useful to do when you're starting to do the upper body. But because this is primarily about the chest, that one is done just to help keep the arms loose. So what I'll do now is I will show you the first main stretch, use a door frame, which is useful for stability so that you won't lose your balance and you've got something sturdy to work against. I'll start with a one arm stretch, so have your elbow just around the lower part of your chest, put it on the door frame, and then just turn ever so slightly away from your arm. And just hold that. Again, you'll feel it across the back, but it will stretch the chest muscle. Then turn back in, swap sides, just keep it down around the bottom area of your chest. And again, turn away. And then when you're ready, bring the elbow up so that it's more in line with your shoulder. And again, have it positioned on the door frame and just turn ever so slightly away. You should feel that across here. And then change arms. You can hold these for anything up to half a minute, but I would suggest starting slowly and doing maybe 5 to 10 seconds at a time. It doesn't need to be long. You can do it 2 or 3 times per session if you wish, but it's entirely up to you. I would suggest starting gradually and building it up. Okay, the next stretch is a double arm, so have one hand here, so you notice my elbow is bent again. Same again, take a step backwards from the door frame and just gently put your head through the door frame. That's the best way I can describe it. So just have your head poking through the door frame, and again, you should feel it across the top of the chest. I also get people to do it with your hands slightly lower down so that again you're at the bottom of the chest, and bring yourself in almost as if you're doing a push-up on the door frame. So you've got your hands at this height or at this height, but with your hands in this position you should feel the stretch more across your chest, across the main amongst the main pectoralis major muscle. The other stretches have done the top pectoralis minor, but this stretch will do the main chest muscles. The other thing you can do is have your hands slightly out of the size of the door frame and just turn so that you're facing away from your arm, and that will stretch all of this area across here, but you might feel it in your arm as well. I'll do the other side, so hand across, you're turning away so that you are 180 degrees. Okay, and there are some basic stretches for you to start with to help loosen up the chest and the front shoulder muscles, and hopefully allow you to have some breathing space and allow some less restricted movement when you are not binding. And as I say, please consider leaving the binder off overnight, just to let your lungs and your rib cage have some free breathing space while you're binding during the day. I appreciate it's important, but if you can allow yourself that time off at night, then that will help to stop restriction of the rib cage. Any questions, feel free to ask. My email is vixx, V-I-X-X, @kinetic, KINETIC -lifestyle.com.